This is our mock-up lab for the Rockville Science Center. It's part of our total commissioning process, our total quality control process for delivering a quality building and to meet the owner's project requirements. Basically, we build this in a smaller scale so that we have the opportunity to view the finished product before it gets installed throughout the rest of the building. In fact, our contractor, Clark Construction, uses this. They basically produce a report called Lessons Learned, and then they take corrective action before the lab gets spread throughout the rest of the building. And you can see the detail in here. This is a typical laboratory setup with the lab benches, teaching station, wet lab facilities. All the lighting is installed. In fact, one of the things that we do from energy standpoint is we will take, and because these rooms were designed specifically for a certain foot candle level, we will take light level readings just to make sure that everything meets specification at this point in time. One of the things you don't want to do is you don't want to end up designing a good lighting system and then at the end of the job find out that it wasn't installed correctly. So the worst thing that could happen, we'd not provide enough lighting, and that certainly is not a good learning environment. So right now we're at showing about 76 foot candles. We want 50-foot candles maintained. So when you initially start up a lighting system, you're going to end up higher, and then over a period of time, lamp depreciation, so forth, will bring you down to the 50-foot candles, and at that point you change the lamps out. We also have in this room examples of our motion sensors, so that if this room becomes unoccupied, the lights go off, the air conditioning goes off. We also have an example in this room of daylight sensors, so that if we get daylight contribution through the windows, the lights will automatically dim in here, reducing the power consumption in the building. So this is an example of what will be in a typical laboratory. This is an emergency eye wash, emergency shower, emergency ventilation starts, and emergency shutoff for equipment. We have ADA compliant desks. You can see where you can have enough room in here to put under a wheelchair so that an ADA person could work at a lab bench. And then there's an example of the deionized water polisher. Basically downstairs we have a reverse osmosis supply water system. It gets pumped up here, and then we take, for the labs that really need the extra scrubbing in their water supply, we take these deionized water polishers and scrub it down, and now they have a very pure water source for the experiments that would go on in this type of a laboratory. We have dishwashers for laboratory glassware and so forth. The sinks, all of the fixture holders, shelving. And then over here we have an example of the fume hoods that would be typically placed throughout the building. Two different kinds with all the fixtures and the fittings with the gas and the vacuum. How it's hooked up, how the hood sash operates, and this gives everybody an idea exactly what's going in the building, so if there's anything that needs to be tweaked or adjusted, bits and finishes, they can be adjusted now before we spread it out throughout the building. Saves a lot of money and manpower. This is the electrical distribution panel. So outside the building we have the Pepco electrical service comes in through a transformer, comes into these distribution panels, and as part of this distribution panel we have a monitoring system to find out how much power we're consuming. And then all these circuits right here distribute throughout the building and go to the different labs and different surfaces throughout the building.